Tex, congratulations. What's there to say? What does it mean to you now to know that you're going to finish your career at Adelaide?
It means a hell of a lot. To put into words what it will mean to me is quite difficult. So, but for me, it was, I've been a part of this footy club for 15 years. I'll go into my 16th season next year. It's, I don't like seeing where our footy club is at the moment, so I believe that I've got a lot to offer on and off the field to be able to get our footy club back to where it belongs.
And when it came to this decision, the last couple of weeks, was it relatively straightforward? Was it ever in jeopardy at all?
Oh, look, I'm not going to lie and say there wasn't any interest to go elsewhere, but for me, the family support here, the Crow for life, all of that sits pretty close to my heart. So in the end, it was a pretty straightforward decision.
Now that it is done, is it a relief for you? How do you describe the emotion knowing that you see your signature on that bit of paper?
Well, it's just nice to know that I don't have to go and hold a lollipop stick next year, Theo, to be quite honest. But
probably have our job, wouldn't you?
But no, it's great to be able to try and give my services again for another 12 months. I feel like I'm playing the best footy I've played for a while. My mind's healthy, my body's healthy. Nixie and the coaches are really comfortable with my leadership, so I'm ticking all the boxes that I need to tick, and I just need to continue that. And who knows, mate? You just never know what's around the corner. So just play for as long as I can, and enjoy footy like it's my last game.
How close or how seriously did you consider those other offers? How close were you to not being here?
Oh, Ellie and I had to sit down and seriously chat about it. We've got 2 young kids. To move them would have been very, very difficult. But for me, I understand the process we're on here as a footy club. It is quite frustrating at times. The thing for me that has allowed me to stay here is the ability to compete against those really, really good sides in the comp. Melbourne, Brisbane, Saints, Geelong. We've been able to do it, so I know the process we're on. I understand the frustration out there that where's our rebuild? What direction is it going? I'm clear in what way we're going. Have we taken a step backwards on the weekend? Yes, we have, but I still believe that we're on the right process.
Was the appeal to go into state potentially to play, win a flag, play finals? Was that part of the appeal that you had to make?
You got to weigh all that up, but for me, I love kids. I love helping kids. I think that's my real passion in football and in life, and that's a main reason why I've stayed. We've got a very young group here, and to me, being able to help those means a lot to me.
What was the obviously been in talks for a while? What was the key to finally signing that dotted line?
Oh, just weighing up everything, mate. You got to weigh everything up, but as I said, in the end, it was a pretty easy decision to stay here. And I love South Australia. I love Adelaide. Ellie's from here. My boys were born here. There's a lot of alignment to this great state, and I want to be able to get our footy club back to playing finals and playing some consistent footy.
How hard did you push to maybe get a couple of years rather than the one?
You got to ask the question, don't you? But for me, I understand the industry I'm in. I'll be 33 next year. And I quite enjoy the 12-month contract because it keeps me on edge. I don't know how long I want to play for, so it just keeps me doing everything right and just enjoying footy. That's what I've done the last couple of years, and I've been able to play some good footy off the back of that.
Tex, the other teams, were they premiership contending teams that were...
That's irrelevant, Theo, to be honest. It doesn't matter. What matters to me is that I've been able to recommit to this footy club and play another season here. It's going in my 16th season. I just said to Shutsy that I've nearly been here longer than I haven't, if that makes sense. So I was here when I was 17. I'm nearly going in my 16th season. So a lot of my time's been spent here, and it's turned me into the person I am today.
Have you had a chance to let the rest of the squad know, and if so, what their reaction was?
The boys got notified this morning, so a few boys were pretty happy.
How did you tell them? How did they find out?
Nixie told them this morning at the team meeting. So
did they elicit a bit of a cheer?
Yeah, I think there's a few cheers, a few boys that were pretty disappointed that they're going to have to put up with me for another 12 months. But all in all, it was, it was quite humbling.
What's been your biggest change since 2020, mate? Because 2 years ago, it looked from the outside like you were pretty close to the end.
We're pretty judgmental in this country, aren't we? Yeah, I was physically probably banged up a little bit. My knee was pretty sore, and but I thought my obligation was to be out there for the leadership, but I wasn't physically able to do that. So being able to get myself physically ready and be able to compete every week has certainly been a massive factor of that.
So not being captain's freed you up a lot to focus on your football a bit more?
Yeah, whether I'm captain or not, I still quite vocal and say what I think needs to be said. Being able to build relationships with the younger kids and spend more time with them in the locker room and being able to watch vision and do those things has certainly been able to help me stay refreshed. But yeah, I still play my role where I have to with that type of thing.
Did you feel like you owed it to stand by the club, considering it stood by you at the end of last year?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Obviously, it's pretty well documented what occurred last year, and the club have been outstanding in integrating me back into the footy club. So that's certainly a little factor of what helped me make my decision as well.
If someone had said to you at that point that you'd be standing here, nearly 12 months later, re-signing and talking about heading into your 16th year, would you believe that, or did that
Probably
seem a long way away?
Probably not.
Yeah. So what's changed for you personally and for the club to allow that?
Oh, well, I said nearly 12 months ago that my ability to integrate back into the group and build those relationships with the ones that I've broken were my key. Football wasn't really a priority for me, and I've been able to do that. Have I got some work to do? Yeah, always. Until the day I drop off this planet, I'm still going to be doing work in that area. But getting back playing footy, it's just give me a bit of an outlet, to be honest. Play footy, I love footy. Against the Giants game, we had a pretty ordinary loss, and I walk off and I see my son Hugo smiling and laughing and waving to me. That's what football is for me now.
Tex, are you more proud of how you're able to perform on field, or I suppose it might be hard to separate, or the gains you've made off field when you put them side by side?
I'd class myself as a pretty resilient person to go through what I have the last probably 12 months or even through my career. If you look over some of the hurdles I've had to jump, I class myself as pretty resilient. So to be able to get through what I have with my family the last 12 months, I'm super proud, but I'm also very, very lucky to have the people around me that I've had.
How do you feel that? Sorry. How do you feel that work that you've done has been acknowledged around the league in terms of teams you play week in and week out, fans? Have you felt like that?
To be quite honest, it doesn't really worry me what people have to say. I know what I have to do, and the people that are close to me know what I'm doing and what I have to do. So if they're happy, then I'm happy.
So just back on the gains you made and where you think you're at, is there a sense of being grateful to the footy club for creating the environment for you to be able to come back in?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I'm very grateful for the life this footy club's given me. I was a little kid, used to sleep in my Crows footy. I was a Crows boy at heart, and now hopefully might be able to play 250 games for this footy club. So that certainly means a lot to me.
Does it, would not trouble you, but how does it sit with you that your last couple of years might not feature at the pointy end of the season for you?
Yeah, that's probably one thing that I had to wrestle in my mind, but sometimes I like the saying that it's never as bad as it seems, it's never as good as it seems. In that aspect, I don't think we're too far away. It might seem that for our fans and supporters, but like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel for me was that we're playing some good footy against the teams that are going to be there at the end of the year. So we know we can mix it with those guys. We've just got to work on a few areas that we'll do over the summer and hopefully come back and be nice to play some finals footy next year.
Have you made peace with the fact that you probably won't win a flag in your playing career?
Geez, you've written us off.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Well, that's your opinion. Who knows? If you sat here last year, I bet you wouldn't have said Freo would be where they are. They're playing some really good footy, so like I said, it can turn pretty quickly.
In terms of your relationship now with the Indigenous players, how would you describe that?
Yeah, we're taking small steps, but we're going in the right direction, and I feel very comfortable with where it's at. But like I said, I'll just continue to chip away and earn that trust and respect back as much as I can.
You talk about being resilient and learning a lot about that. What else have you learned about yourself since that incident over the past 12 months?
A lot, yeah, a lot which I don't think I need to share publicly. But I've just been very grateful with the support of my family and friends, mentors and coaches that I've had the last 12 months.
There were some nice moments, Tex, during the game that Junior gets a touch or takes a grab, and you see you side by side with him, and same with Ned. He's having a shot on goal, and you're straight over to him. So clearly, the on-field side of things is fine with these sorts of players. How important is that to you, that when you give a piece of advice to, say, an Indigenous player who might have been hurt before, that they're really receptive to that now?
Yeah, it's pretty nice to hear. So that's just what I do on field. Like number one, I've got to perform, but number two, I've got to be able to hand over some of my knowledge and the standard to our young kids to fast track us and get us back to playing some good footy consistently. So yeah, it's nice to hear that.
Last couple of guys.
How grateful are you to Junior and Co and the Indigenous group that they've sort of have welcomed you back and had the graciousness to reintegrate you?
Very, very grateful.
Would you have understood if Adelaide wanted to have parted ways with you at the time last year, given what happened?
No, if, buts and candy nuts, mate. That didn't happen, so there's no point worrying about what could have and what should have. And what happened was I'm back here and we're going on for a 16th season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. I was just going to ask about Dawson and what you've seen from him. Now
Pretty good, isn't he?
Now he's in the leadership group, but what qualities have you seen, do you think, that endear him to that group?
Oh, you've been able to see what he does game day. He's got an amazing amount of knowledge. Probably he's surprised me in a way that I didn't realise how much, but I haven't played with him or known him from outside that, so he's probably might be wearing a jacket at the end of the year.